We have a Colombian guy in Medellin going viral on TikTok because he has beef with the passport bros.
Oh, he's not the only Colombian that has beef with the passport bros. Believe you me, he's not the only one. And I'm not talking about just a guy alone. I'm talking about both men and women.
Opiniones funables, parte 2, y es que los gringos aquí en Medellín me dan asco.
So stop walking around with those donkey ears. I mean, I really gotta say it, because, I mean, the word is out. You know what I mean? You're out there getting on a boat, you know what I'm saying? Calling somebody to get you these women, right? Whether it's the passport boys or not, whoever you want to be, whatever you want to call yourself, right?
The only reason why you haven't heard about it is because most of the uproar is in Spanish.
Parecían idolatrando a esos gringos. Parce, no saben bailar.
Les voy a contar algo sobre los gringos que muy pocos de ustedes saben. Hay algo en Estados Unidos, Canadá y esos lugares que se llama Passport Bros. Ellos son los perdedores de allá, no todos, muy pocos no lo son, pero la mayoría sí lo son. Ellos son los perdedores de allá que les dan nervios hablar con una mujer, que se cagan para hablarle a una mujer.
Estoy cansada de que ya haya más personas de afuera que de Medellín en Provenza.
Passport bros have been an epidemic all around the world, especially in Colombia.
An American tourist was found in Medellin, Colombia by the police in a hotel room with 2 kids.
After the civilians saw this man bringing 2 children to his hotel room, he automatically reported the incident to the police.
Y en un nuevo episodio del Mundo está de la mierda, presentamos los Passport Bros. ¿Qué son los Passport Bros?
Lo que más me ha sorprendido de Medellín es que hay comercio sexual de día, de noche, en la mañana, a cualquier hora. Y ahora está esta tendencia de redes sociales que se llama Passport Bros, que es como los panas del pasaporte.
Miren esta noticia. Un ciudadano norteamericano fue condenado por una corte de su país por tener aquí en Medellín, Colombia.
¿Ha escuchado hablar sobre los Passport Boys o Passport Bros? A ver, le cuento. El año pasado Medellín superó todos los récords en turismo.
¿Has escuchado hablar de los Passport Bros? Aquí te dejo quiénes son y por qué deberías tener ojos si te topas con uno de ellos.
¿Sabías que Medellín se ha convertido en un destino de turismo sexual? Sí, Medellín es la segunda ciudad más visitada de Colombia y esto ha disparado también el turismo sexual para extranjeros.
You got to hear from him because he managed to get to his English-speaking audience. There are more than one Colombian YouTuber out there who is complaining about the passport bro situation in Colombia. Colombians are getting tired of it. Old people, young people, men and women, politicians, religious people, non-religious people. I even seen little kids saying that they don't want even a foreigner in certain areas of Colombia.
We're going to get to this video, and unfortunately, I got to cook him. We have to get on him. All right.
The only thing that's going to be cooking is probably sancocho with some rice, some aguacate, and probably some ají, because I don't know, I saw your video and you got to pretty bold in the statements that you have made. In fact, you sound like a colonialist right now. Maybe you got too much ice in your orange juice. I don't know. Maybe that's why Passport Bros is starting to get a little bit bold right now in terms of describing the situation in Colombia.
And you tell me if I spent too much on some 304 activity, but.
This is why Colombians don't like gringos.
This is why Colombians don't like gringos. So he's replying to a comment basically saying, bro, we are there for the women and the women only. No one cares about the war, which is fair. Well, when you go on vacation and you're doing your thing, I mean, it is what it is.
Imagine that you're making a presentation about the unaliving of, let's say, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and someone says, I don't care about him. I only care about the women. Show me the women. Imagine you talk about 9/11, about the people that died, and some of those people that died were your family members, and you make a presentation. Imagine someone told you that they don't care about 9/11, and they said they just want to hear the women. That's not fair. That's downright disrespectful. So you don't go to someone else's video who's doing a documentary about that country's version of their 9/11, and then tell them that you don't care and that you want the women. Nobody asked you for that.
Play what he got to say, though.
This type of attitude. So I'm making a video about the history of Colombia and about the Civil War and about how a lot of people who come to visit don't really educate themselves on a little bit of the history. And this wasn't the only...
So it's not that he didn't understand the history. Everybody knows about the drug cartels and about Pablo Escobar.
Wrong. This has nothing to do with cartels. This is how ignorant that you are. This has to do with military terrorist groups like left-wing guerrilla forces who are communists or right-wing paramilitary troops. See, you think that this is like Mexico, where the most dangerous power to rebel against the government are cartels. In Colombia, the cartels are the middlemen. They actually are controlled, okay? And they are ruled by militia groups, armed militia groups. This is how I know how ignorant that you are.
Everybody knows the history. It's just that they don't care about the history, which is fair. He ain't lie.
That is a very dangerous statement that you just said, and I'm going to tell you why. The city of Medellin is a conservative stronghold, okay? They even oppose the president because the president of Colombia used to be part of the M19, which was called the April 19 movement, a left-wing guerrilla movement. When I talk about the Civil War, when Andres Unearth talks about the Civil War, he has to be very careful not to name names because there are powerful groups who control Medellin. Even the parquilleras that you guys go to is controlled by certain groups. I have to be very careful about not naming names myself. And by you saying that, you're acting like you're not caring because these powerful groups had their brethren, their mothers, brothers, and sisters all dying because of the Civil War. And some people are very, very emotional about it.
Made that type of comment. There was a handful of other people who commented the same thing. And I make Colombia content. I make content out here in my beautiful country. And I'm used to getting often these type of comments like, yo, where the baddies at? Yo, you in Medellin, show the girls. Yo, how do I meet girls? Yo, this and that. Like, yo, y'all coming to Colombia, and I'm not saying it's all of y'all because there's obviously gringos that come here with respect. We can't generalize everyone. But, you know, it just takes a few to ruin a whole bunch. And now Colombians are looking upon y'all in a more negative aspect because y'all come here, y'all fetishize the women. Y'all come here to take part in debauchery.
Does anybody go to Colombia and fetishizes the women?
Yes, some do. Some do go to Brazil also. Not all, but yeah, some people do.
Or what's it? Please answer this question. What's the difference between seeing an attractive woman and wanting to sleep with her and fetishizing her? What is the difference of that? What's the difference?
A fetish is basically an irrational obsession with a part that is not sexual and to make it all become overly sexual. There are cases, not all, like you said, you cannot generalize, but there are cases of men who travel to Colombia, to South America because of the movies, the X-rated movies that they see. And they're so infatuated and so obsessed with a certain color, a certain look, a certain hair texture that they do not even care about the woman. They do not care about the culture of the woman. They do not care about the family of the woman because anybody who dates a Colombian, you'll quickly find out that you date her entire family. And I'm pretty sure by the way how you're acting, you don't care about people's families. You like the old saying, hit it and quit it, right?
It's a female talking point. You just going over there to fetishize the women. Okay. What if I'm attracted to Latinas and big booties and fair skin?
See, this is where you show your true colors, because to be Latino is not to have fair skin. To be Latino is to be in a culture. A Latino can even be Chinese. I'm not sure if you know this, but Colombia has Chinese Colombians. Colombia has people of Middle Eastern descent. Colombia has also indigenous populations. And if you always see these supposed passport bros, they go to Medellin only. You don't see them in Buenaventura, where you have the highest concentration of people of African descent. There was a guy who was talking to me on a WhatsApp group, and he was asking me to show him black Colombians. And when I showed him a black Colombian, a beautiful black Colombian from the Pacific Coast, he said, man, I don't want her. She looks like a regular black woman. See, this is how I know you're lying, because I guarantee you, having fair skin, okay? But that shows what fetish is. A fetish is basically an irrational obsession with a certain part that is not sexual to make it overly sexual. I like women who are thick. Also, I like women who are well-bodied. She could be black, she could be Asian, she could be Hindu, okay? But the thing is that for you need to have a certain look. It needs to be a certain way of certain things. And for some reason, you like to have certain people from Medellin. How come I don't see you guys in Pasto? Pasto is by the border with Ecuador, where the people tend to have stronger indigenous features who are not mixed with European as much, right? That's the whole point. You're looking for a certain type of look to fulfill your desires.
Like, what is the difference? Okay. Now, he also said engage in debauchery, which fair and balanced, they do engage in debauchery. But
see, I told you, he admitted it. He admitted it that you guys go down there for debauchery. Maybe not all, can't generalize, but he admitted it. That some passport bros go down there for debauchery. You're not respecting our local people. You're not respecting local customs. I am from the Cauca Valley. Since I'm from the mountains and I was dating my girlfriend, who is from the Cartagena, who's from the coast, I had to accustom myself and I had to learn her culture, because even though we're both Colombian, not all Colombians are the same, and each region is different. And I had to show her family. I went out with her mom to the church. Even though I'm not a Pentecostal and I'm a super Catholic, I went there to show my support. I went with her cousins, I went with her family, I went with her uncles. I literally did everything with them. Would Skylar the Ruin, is he capable of doing that? Are these passport bros are capable of doing that?
I got a question for this dude, okay? Because check this out. Here's the problem that I have, okay? He has all of these videos about Medellin and all this type of stuff, right? And the most popular video is the one of him talking about passport bros. This one right here, it got 203,000. Okay? You can scour the internet of people in all of these different countries who have issues with passport bros. They never have nothing to say to the women who are engaging in the activity as well, because it takes two to tango.
Actually, some of them do. I've seen it in Cartagena, Barranquilla, Arjona, and talking about the coast, okay? I've seen it in Pereira, Circasia, I've seen it in Pradera, I've seen people talk about it. But the thing is this, like Andres Andres said, you guys are coming in with arrogance and you're being very disrespectful to local culture. So what are you trying to talk about here? Which type of women are you trying to talk about?
He has hundreds of videos on Colombia and Medellin, but he never sat down to try to call out the women. Hey, ladies, I love y'all. Y'all my queens. Why don't y'all stop sleeping with the passport bros? Why don't y'all close your legs a little bit? Hey, why don't y'all be a little bit modest? They never have any smoke for the women in these countries.
You see, in the world of debating, this is what's called changing the goalposts, because of the fact that Andres on Earth here is complaining that people are being disrespectful about the Civil War because guys are butting in about the deaths of people, the death of our own people, because they want to search for what these guys call 3 or 4s, these easy women, right? And he's telling them, well, why don't you guys tell them to stop sleeping with women? See, it's like a little kid. You should be ashamed of yourself for using the tactic. That's what little kids do. When you're cornered, they change and try to throw the guilt somewhere else. Number one, let me explain something to you. What's going on between two consenting adults, we don't care. Colombians really don't care. That's not the issue. The issue is your disrespectful behavior. He's talking about the Civil War and you say you don't care. And you literally stated in the beginning of this video, you did not care that people were bombed, that you did not care that people were kidnapped, you did not care that people were unalive, you did not care that people lost their children, that people lost their families. You did not care. Well, since when did the conversation switch over from the Civil War to you guys being disrespectful to our culture, being this arrogant? The war has nothing to do with a woman. The war has nothing to do with 304s, as you call it, okay?
Never. They always want to paint the picture to the passport bro, which I'm not saying they are saints. I'm not saying that every guy who goes to Colombia is a saint. They ain't a saint. But call it what it is. The women ain't saints either.
See, this has absolutely nothing to do with the Civil War, nor the subject that Andres on Earth was talking about. This is very typical of a person who is not very honest about his feelings and not honest when he gets caught. Because all he was saying is, hey, I'm trying to talk about the Civil War here, and all you guys are coming with your arrogant attitude, looking for women. How come I'm calling it what it is? You're not calling it what it is. You're acting like a little kid. Like I said, you need to be ashamed of yourself for even doing that type of tactic. That doesn't work on us. Colombians, we stick to the subject. The Civil War, the death of people, the fact that you're not caring because all you want to get is get laid, that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Tell the truth. Tell the complete truth. Call out the women. Never. They never say nothing. Because you can't say shit to them because they're going to look at your stupid ass and be like, man, well, shut up.
No one asked you for your passport bro comment about finding women in front of a mass grave, and then you want to sit here and throw it on us. Why don't you tell your women not to sleep with passport bros? Are you insane? Wrong. You're using a debate tactic called a straw man fallacy. A straw man fallacy is basically when you take someone else's conversation, argument, and you change it to a point that they were never talking about.
Mind your business. Why are you worried about how we get paid?
Once again, that's a strawman fallacy that you're creating. Number one, I would like to let you know that it is the Colombian people who made it legal in order for them to work so they can have protections. Number two, which I'm going to show you in a video in a moment here, I want you to see that the people who were protesting against you in Parquilleras.
Este trapo que ustedes ven ahí, Fico persiguen feministas y encubre pedófilos, casi que nos es arrebatado por la Subsecretaría de Espacio Público y la policía. Pero cuando llegamos a las discotecas y a los bares, en donde era evidente que había mujeres jóvenes menores de edad, se hacían los de la vista gorda. Y en cambio salían puteros extranjeros de esos lugares y hasta trataban mal a la fuerza pública, la maltrataban. Vaya que uno haga eso como colombiano. ¿Qué es lo que está pasando? ¿Cuál es la jurisprudencia de este parque? ¿Quién es que está dominando aquí a Medellín para que a fin de cuentas quieran hacer con él lo que querían hacer con Cuba hace tantos años? Es decir, convertirlo en el prostíbulo de los gringos, en el burdel. Medellín no es un burdel. Las mujeres y los movimientos feministas están protestando, se están uniendo y se están organizando para decir, esto no lo vamos a permitir más.
Number three, I would like to let you know that I saw another video, another angle in Spanish, and they has some of the 304s that you're talking about. They get paid the same way that you're talking about, and they were marching with them. And they asked them, why are you marching with them? You want to know why? Because they say we're tired of abuse.
That's what they're gonna say. Shut your ass up.
Yeah, pretty big words for a guy who wants to be Austin Holloman 2.0. Let me tell you something, because I know my people. You're lucky that this is not out amongst the Colombian population, because once this gets out there, this can be very bad for you. And either you will not be allowed to go back into Colombia, or you're going to have to be walking and watching out for yourself, because Colombian people don't play that type of game. All right? They do not play that type of game. And I want to let you know that the president of Colombia has stated that we will not allow any type of abusive behavior or abusive tourism to come to Colombia.
Que el turismo extranjero que llega a Colombia debe cambiar su estructura. Aquí no estamos ofreciendo las mujeres para nada y yo me voy a encargar de dificultar ese tipo de turismo. Aquí nación, espacio estatal, político que crea que esta es una tierra para venir a orar la dignidad de la mujer o de los niños, va a tener dificultades para entrar. Nuestra mujer no está en venta, ni nuestros niños. Aquí se recibe con hospitalidad, y si aparece el amor nadie lo prohíbe, pero es el amor libre y no condicionado. La policía está encargada de perseguir a fondo cualquier tipo de turismo depredador. Y esto quiero que quede con mucha claridad.
And people are being turned away at the airport.
Migration Colombia denied entry to a United States citizen at Jose Maria Cordova Airport in Rio Negro. And here we tell you why. The foreigner coming from Florida could not justify his trip to the country. Additionally, he carried quite suspicious items in his luggage, which raised alarms for Migration Colombia and the National Police. This is the second case in 2 days in Antioquia that raises alarms for alleged sex tourism.
In this way, at the Jose Maria Cordova International Airport in Rio Negro, in my a foreign American citizen was denied entry in the last few hours as he was carrying items in his luggage that suggest he intended to enter Colombia for tourism with the purpose of sexual exploitation.
Between 2024 and 2025, 80 foreigners were inadmitted, most of them Americans, due to alerts of pedophilia and sexual exploitation, according to the international system Angels Watch. For her part, the director of Migración Colombia stated that they will not allow the entry of foreigners with a history of sexual exploitation to come and harm children in Colombia. Let us know what you think about these cases in the comments, and if you want to expand on this and other news, don't forget to visit the quienique.com portal.
Come on, Please stop sleeping with the passport, bro.
Once again with the false accusations. Nobody was talking about that, but since you brought it there, I want you to pay attention to this right here. Okay, you see this that's going on right here? This was 2 days ago, okay? And I see this like once every few weeks. It is a common joke amongst Venezuelans and Colombians that when you passport bros think that you got one up on us, and that you're actually paying for it, quote unquote, or you're dating, quote unquote, you're actually investing to a real boyfriend's money. We're all laughing at you. You think that you are? I actually saw a video and it was like this. Oh, honey, my gringo boyfriend's coming from the United States. He goes, good, honey, give it to him good. But make sure you wear a protection because only I'm the one who can give it to you. And make sure you take as much as you can out of him because I need a new iPhone. Most of Colombian women don't like you guys. I cannot tell you how many times I hear Colombian women talking trash about your back and we're all sitting here laughing at you. You're investing into somebody else's boyfriend. You think, oh yeah, well, I'm a man and I'm sleeping with her and stuff like that. You're investing into her bank account. You're investing into her future. And she gives you all these little stories. Oh, my little dog got sick. Oh, I can't pay the rent. Oh, I can't do this. And then you send me hundreds of dollars to them, like a bunch of licks.
And a lot of the time, check this out too. Let me go back.
I'm here with the arrogance, with like a superiority complex.
It ain't people. A lot of people say that Americans are arrogant. Okay? A lot of people do. And there are some Americans who are arrogant, but there's people that are arrogant all over the world. Nobody ever comes around and says, this Spanish person is arrogant.
Actually, they do. I have friends that work in the tourism sector. If you can see some of my videos, I've been to Cartagena, I've been to Medellin. I actually had a friend in Santa Marta that told me that they prefer living in Santa Marta because they get a different type of tourists. They get tourists from France, they get tourists from everything else and culture. She said, unlike those North Americans in Cartagena. And she mentioned certain people who wear baggy pants and who wear dreadlocks and who wear certain type of clothing. You know who I'm talking about, right? The passport bros. And she said they're not arrogant like them. It is a well-known fact in different parts of Colombia, there's certain groups of people, out of all the travelers that tour there, certain groups of people are the most arrogant. And I hate to tell you this, but you are the prime example. You are the prime example. When they prefer in Ibagué during the music festival, they get a lot of French people. In Santa Marta, you get a lot of people who are interested in the local culture, in indigenous groups and everything else. Trust me, you have damaged your reputation. For you to say that is highly laughable. I'm trying not to laugh right now.
The only reason why they get offended if an American is arrogant or thinks highly of himself is because you can back the shit up.
I cannot believe the lies that are coming in your mouth. You cannot back anything up. I've said many times over. I even seen it with my own eyes. I have friends that work in the tourism sector every single day. People like you who go to Cartagena and go to Medellin always try to pretend like you got money. It is a well-known fact amongst Colombians because we have internet. You guys think that we're a bunch of savages. We have the internet. We know that you hear a bunch of mediocre people. I've seen Colombians say, you're mediocres. You don't have a pot to piss in. Listen, I had a friend of mine who's an Uber driver, and he told me that he picked up these people, passport bros, by the way, and then this guy was supposed to leave to the airport the next day to come back to the United States, and he picked up 304s, like you like to call them, and the dude didn't even have the money for them. He only had about $24 in his pocket, and he was trying to borrow money from his friends, and they all laughed at him, and guess what? All of the girls in the car said, turn us back, and they had to leave him. You cannot back anything up. Most of you are a bunch of liars. We are wise to the game. All the way from the Amazon rainforest, from the Andean Amazonian region, okay? Those people, they are making TikToks in the Amazon, all the way to the Guajira province, which is the tippy top of Colombia in that desert. We all know, bro. We all know that you guys are broke. You quit lying. You cannot back anything up. Few people actually have money.
It ain't arrogant if you can back it up. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? If you are one of the top 1 percentile males on the planet in income earning per year, and you walk around with your head held high, your chest out, you can back the shit up.
I have seen many videos of Colombian women and men complaining that you guys are a bunch of poor paupers here in the United States, but act like you're a bunch of millionaires in Colombia. So you can see, because I saw your other video where you said if you make 50 grand, you're the top 1% on the planet. Well, guess what? That only works when you're in other nations, but when you're here in the United States, you're not the top 1%.
That's why they upset about it. If a chick from Bolivia did the thing or a guy from Brazil, they would never say anything about him because, he ain't making no money. But when you have the paper and you have the backing, that's what they get offended about. And it is what it is.
Yeah, right. Who are you trying to kid? I know Colombians in Colombia who have 10 times more money than you do legally, okay? And obviously there's some people who do it illegally, but there are some who have more money than you legally. And don't act like there are plenty of Colombians living outside of Colombia, in Spain, in the United States, in France, who make more money than you.
And he should know that because he was in the United States. He literally says, Colombia made me, New York raised me. So he left New York. He was born in New York, or moved to New York at one point. Now he moved to Colombia, and now he wants to get on his high horse in Colombia after he done ran through all the chicks in New York.
Unlike Andres on Earth, I was not born in the United States. However, like Andres on Earth, I both have dual citizenship because he actually stated what him and I have in common is that we have something called a citizenship ID card. And I heard him speak Spanish, and his Spanish is very well, sometimes even better than mine. Okay? Because I can travel in some parts of Colombia and they won't even tell. Other parts they can tell that I didn't live there for the last few years. But some places they can't. So no, don't come up to me with that. And just to let you know, the loyalty between Colombians is much thicker than you think. And I can guarantee you that if Colombian women were to see this, you're going to be an Austin Holloman 2.0 begging people, I'm sorry, I love Colombian women and I respect Colombian culture, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, just keep on talking like that. It's the arrogance. There's an old saying in Spanish, ignorancia es atrevida. Ignorance is arrogantly bold.
Now he got issues with brothers going to Colombia. Stop it. Okay?
Since when did we go from people interrupting his documentary about people dying in the Civil War because the passport bro says that I want to see women only and I do not care about you people dying, into him saying that he's worried about passport bros going to Colombia? See how you are? You cannot play the game with me, homeboy. You cannot play that game. You're like a bunch of little kids. When you say, but he didn't tie his shoe. No, you're not playing that type of game with us, all right? You're being disrespectful to our people. That has nothing to do about women. And not what he was talking about. He did mention that in a side passing by comment, but that's not what he's talking about.
Because y'all coming with US dollars, y'all have higher salaries than Colombians, obviously. Y'all making more money. So you think because you have more money that you're superior, that you're better. And
I don't think anybody goes over there with a superiority complex. They just go over there with a realistic complex.
Nea, el problema con los extranjeros en Medellín está cada vez peor y alguien tiene que hacer algo. Ahora resulta que los norteamericanos andan atacando a los locales y andan diciendo que Medellín es una chimba gracias a ellos. O sea que Medellín va por el mismo camino de Ciudad de México, que sacaron a los mexicanos y los gringos hicieron sus locales y tratan mal a los propios mexicanos en su tierra que es México. Oye, pero los incipios, esos son súper atrevidos. Ya no me siento mal porque les hagan la vuelta. Muchachas, cada vez que tengan la oportunidad de hacerle la vuelta a un gringo, hágansela y no se sientan mal. Y es turismo. Los que viven acá en Colombia, obviamente no son turistas, es gente aprovechada que como son pobrecitos en su país, vienen a cárcelas de ricos de las islas y millonarios, ganando en dólares y gastando en pesos y encareciendo la vida de la gente que sí es de acá de Colombia.
I want to make an emphasis of what he said. If you were not able to read because he was talking too fast, I would like to let you know that he said that he understands that passport bros and that foreigners and that these digital nomads are poor in the United States, but they try to pretend to be rich in Colombia. Okay, we all know. So don't tell me you act like a big boss, like you have all this money. You don't. Most of you don't. Some do, but most of you don't.
I don't want to, when I go to Colombia or when I go to Brazil, when I'm in Brazil, I don't hang around with the local people like that.
Yep, I can definitely tell. I want to let you know that Colombia and Brazil are very similar to each other in the fact that we are communal societies. And when you have somebody that's very antisocial, that doesn't like to talk to anybody, doesn't like to hang with the people or even integrate themselves, it's usually somebody who's not right in the head. Maybe in the United States it's okay, but in our cultures it's considered abnormal, just to let you know.
It is what it is. A lot of guys be talking to me, man, I'm looking for some Brazilian friends. I'm looking for some, I got to hang out with the locals. I really don't want to hang out with any locals, bro.
So let me get this straight. You fly all the way down to Colombia. You don't want to hang out with the locals. You don't want to integrate with yourself with society. You don't want to be participate in the music. You don't want to participate with the food. You don't want to do nothing. You know what it tells me? You're down there for fetish. Because Obviously, if you don't want to hang out with the locals, you don't want to be really dating people, because I said before, when you date a Colombian woman, you will be dating her family. And especially as a paisa, you got to get acclimated to paisa culture. And I bet you don't know the difference between a paisa, an opita, a chocoano, a llanero, a costeño, somebody from el Pacifico, a pastuso. You don't know the difference between all those people, bro. I got your number. You're a hypocrite. You're a freaking liar. You are a liar. You're down there for your fetish, to get your rocks off. That's all you care. To satisfy your little sexual urges. That's the whole point.
Unless they got paper. Unless they got money.
To be quite honest, the people with money in Colombia would never hang around you. Like I said, well, I had a friend, no longer speak to her, and she had a lot of money. They had multiple businesses, restaurants, pharmacies. They had about 60 employees. She lived in the countryside because the rich people in Colombia live in the country. I mean, she had like, I don't know, like freaking, I don't know, like 10 acres of land. Her living room was a second house. And she would never speak to you, not because of money, but because she could tell that you're not a person who's educated. Because Colombians, one thing that we do is we learn how to read people. The people that will hang around you are the type of people that probably want money from you and they think they can get something from you. But a real person of real money, a real value, is not going to be hanging around you. I know plenty of people that come from good families that are the doctors, that are lawyers back in Colombia. They won't give you the time of day. They are already stereotyping you by the way how you act, the way how you behave.
Unless they have, or unless they are in a leveraged position, because I don't want to be walking around with a bunch of Brazilians and I'm the one with the big bag, because I already know what's going to be. I'm going to have to pay for everything.
Yep, but if she's a foreign woman at 304, you'll drop that cash real quick, won't you? Yeah, now you'll make that investment. I have friends of different economic levels in Colombia, from the lowest to the highest points, okay? And none of them ask me for money. I have friends who are way poorer than me and way poorer than you will ever be. And guess what? They will never ask me for money.
It's the reality, okay? With great power comes great responsibility. And I don't want to hang out around with a bunch of locals. Like some guy be wanting to hang out in the favelas and they be wanting to hang out. Man, I ain't got time for that, man.
It sounds to me like you're very antisocial. I don't understand. Like, what do? You just go to a different country, not engage with the people, not engage with the local culture, not engage with the music, not engage with the local festivities, not engage with the local traditions, and lock yourself up in a room? For what? Again, it's a fetish. When I go to Colombia, I get invited to the finca. You know what's a finca? It's a country home. My friend's country home, the one that I told you about that had a separate house as a living room, okay? She had acres of land, she had pools, she had a 2-story pool house and everything else. We watched movies, we ate together, we had cookouts, we were horseback riding. It was a group of 20 of us. It was the best time of my life that I've ever had. I've gone to the cabalgatas, which are basically horse parades. I've been invited to the small towns. I've been town hopping. And in the big cities, I've gone to block parties. I have been invited to the Cocora Valley, which you have the wax palm trees. I have been to the small picturesque city of Salento. I have been to the Pacific Coast and to the small private islands that are owned by people of Afro-Colombian descent. I don't know what understanding you're doing, because to me, it seems to me that you're just going to another country to lock yourself up in a box. What is the difference between going to Las Vegas and locking yourself up in an Airbnb or a hotel, or going to Colombia or Brazil and locking yourself up? Once again, you're just going there for the fetish. You just want to fulfill your desires. That's all you're doing. You're not caring about the people. You're not caring about the culture. You're not caring about the festivals. You're not caring about traditions. You don't care about food. You don't care about anything. You don't. That's what you are.
I'm not really the most friendly person, unfortunately, but a lot of you guys are too friendly. Y'all want to hang around and be friends with everybody. I don't. There was a dude out here in Brazil. He was like, hey, are we friends? Fuck no.
That type of attitude is going to rub people the wrong way. Something I also see commonly is a lot of gringos, tourists who come here complaining that the women are gold diggers, that they're just interesadas, you know what I mean? And that's the attitude you come with that attracts that type of woman.
Listen, let's be honest. Let's be fair and balanced like Fox News. Hello, let's be fair and balanced. A lot of the girls in Medellin are pay for play. A lot of them are. 9 out of 10 of them. Oh, well, I would say 8 or 7 out of 10.
You just accuse most of the women of Medellin of being the type of women that will sleep with you for money. Sir, let me tell you something, Mr. Man. You better hope that this does not get into the Spanish-speaking social media in Colombia. You will be martyred. Metaphorically here, okay? I'm not talking about literally, because some people out there can take things literal. You will be metaphorically martyred. you will be an Austin Holloman number 2. You will be banned from the city and probably from the nation. You do not know the type of serious backlash you can receive because of that. Because the truth is, the majority of women are not prostitutes, okay? And I'm going to tell you that because I've done the numbers. There was an idiot in my comments who was saying something similar to that. You're going to be an Austin Holloman number 2, begging him in Spanish and YouTube and saying that you're sorry and stuff like that. This is not the place to mess around, and it can actually get kind of dangerous for you.
Okay? But that's okay. And I'm gonna push back on you bros as well. I've never heard, well, I've heard a lot of American guys say that the women in Colombia are all about money, or in Medellin specifically. You bros gotta really be self-aware of what kind of position you're in financially. A lot of guys don't know because they're used to being in the United States where they ain't work, where everybody's making money, everybody got a bag, so you don't really stand out. But when you go to Colombia and when you go to these other countries, the world kind of gravitates around you because you're making a lot of money.
Again, is that gringo mentality that the world revolves around them. See how he says the world revolves around you. Trust me, you're nobody special. You're nobody special, and you're even less special now that foreigners have lost a lot of respect amongst Colombians because of the small group of passport bros that are doing horrible things.
And that's the truth. You come from a wealthy country as well. All right. And this is me personally. Like, I wouldn't be upset if a woman in Colombia asked me for money. A lot of guys get offended by that. There's Brazilian chicks that ask me for money. I don't get angry about it. I don't get offended by it because I understand that's what comes with being a boss.
You ain't no boss. Bro, you just what they consider a lick. Just a few days ago, I'm not sure if this is meant to be, but I actually, sometimes God speaks to you in a certain way because I saw a video of a Colombian guy in Spanish, right? Talking about how it's different here in the United States. And he says that American guys, for every pretty little face that they see, they want to stop dropping money like they've never seen a beautiful woman before. And he was talking about the difference between American men and Colombian men. And here in the United States, not in Colombia, that we know how to invest in the right person. Obviously, like I said in my videos, no woman wants to be with a bum. But you passport bros complain all day long saying that the American woman wants too much money and then you won't give it to them, but you want to fly all the way down dozens of miles and give it to another woman. What's the difference? What's the difference? And then you want to say you complain you're a boss when people in Colombia, and I'm pretty sure people in Brazil, and I can double check on my sources if I need to, that they know that you guys are poor in the United States. Most of you guys don't have a lot of money.
When you a boss, when you at the top of the food chain, of course people are gonna ask you for money. Don't get upset about it. Don't get angry about it. Just tell them no. Or what I do, I tell them, okay, well, if I give you this money, what are you gonna do? Am I supposed to just give it to you for free? That's what I ask them. Am I supposed to just give it to you for free? No. Okay, well, what are you gonna do? Talk to me. What's up? I'm not an ATM machine. So I'm always I'll reverse it into a deal. I'll reverse it into some type of mutual agreement, something that we both agree on, but I'm not giving you any money for free.
Basically, you just admitted on camera that you fly to a country where women don't have as much economic power as you. And then when they ask you for money because, they're probably starving, they want to be able to probably eat or feed the child, you say, nope, you can't have it. You got to give me something in return. This is exactly what the president of Colombia stated, and he made a statement on national and international TV stating that we will not allow any type of tourist abuse like that, because he said that we don't have no problem with you finding love, but it has to be under right conditions, not when you have a power play, and that's considered abuse.
Okay? It's not happening, and I'm not going to call you a gold digger either. But a lot of guys still, I don't know why, in 2025, you still want to go to Colombia and try to smash something for free off Tinder. Like, people are still doing that. And then they get drugged and they get robbed. And there's even guys here in Brazil trying to smash chicks for free. I have the girls talking to me. These guys are always trying to smash for free. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be fair and give him his credit where credit is due. And he did call the passport bros out who go down to South America and they try to get things for free from women. And it's good that he called them out. So I'll give him 1 point for that. But then later on, it goes really far south, really bad later on. And it's going to be minus 100 points. And you'll see why.
So a lot of these women are getting fed up with it, especially in South America, where they see you with the big boss, with the money.
Don't see you as a big boss. They see you as a lick because these women are used to men with real money. All right. Just because you're an American doesn't mean you got a lot of money. There's a lot of people in South America with big money, bigger than you, but they don't show it. And just to let you know, we're all laughing at you because we all know that you're a lick. When you give them the money, they're actually giving it to their real boyfriends. I said it many, many times over in a lot of my videos.
They need help, unfortunately. Anyway.
Also, the fact that you don't speak a lick of Spanish is going to be easy for a woman to take advantage of you.
That's fair. If you're going to Colombia quite a bit, you need to speak the language, or at least some of the language.
And I know that Colombian women prefer to be with Colombian men. And even if it's not a Colombian man, they prefer to be with a Latino man, somebody who speaks Spanish, has a more similar culture to their own. To be with a gringo, I'm not saying no Colombian women are going to take you seriously, but it's just, you know, it's going to be harder for y'all to find a genuine woman.
Who agrees with that? Who agrees with that? Let's go back, okay? Let's go back.
Women are going to take you seriously.
So I believe that, of course, the women in Colombia would prefer their own, their own. That's fair. But that don't mean she ain't gonna bust down and get folded up on a couch.
I'm not sure if you're trying to race to the bottom of degeneracy, but what you just said, it can cause you a lot of trouble. I'm not sure if you're trying to get banned. I'm not sure you're trying to find a huge backlash, but you pay a lot of repercussions in the world of social media because of that. The consequences from women in Colombia is going to be monumental if this spreads out. It will be on an epic scale that you haven't seen before. Something similar to what happened to Austin Holloman. You better hope. I'm not sure what you're going to have to do, if you're going to have to re-edit your video, or if you're going to have to erase it, or if you want to be bold and just like that. You're literally playing with your life like that. You really are. You probably can get lucky. Maybe you won't go viral. But if this goes viral in Colombia, it's not going to be nice. And I'm telling you, you're messing with the wrong people. You're messing with the wrong people by saying that. That is highly disrespectful.
So the crazy part about it is, unfortunately, this is where I should keep this behind a paywall. It's basically like these chicks be getting smashed out, bro.
Let me tell you something. You need to understand two things, okay? You're too used to walking around with women who will offer them their bodies for you for money, and the majority of women are not like that. There's a false narrative out there that women of South America and Latino women are very subservient, and they're very not. You act like that around a Colombian woman or even a Brazilian woman, because I dated Brazilian women, you will end up at the receiving end of 5 fingers in a palm, okay? And I know women from the northern coast who square up with cops like a boxer. Second of all, you need to understand that what you just said is pretty much a cause for removal or for prevention from coming into Colombia. Treating women, because that's how you guys are, because they're nothing but toys to you, you're treating women as these sexual objects. And I know a lot of women who will not even come close to a gringo. I'm in the city of Medellin alone, okay? I know many women that do not want to go by El Poblado or a place where a lot of foreigners frequent because they think you guys are disgusting. I'm telling you this right now. There's a lot of Colombian women complaining about people like you in Spanish. The president has stated, the mayor of Medellin has stated, the mayor of Cartagena is already trying to do certain things and cleaning up certain areas. And people from the other parts of the country, because I listen to my Colombian people, in Cali, they're already talking that they don't want people like you there. In Pereira, in Villavicencio, in Barranquilla, they're already talking about it. La Guajira, they don't want you there. They're already making jokes about what they will do to people like you, in joking method, you know, to prevent passport bros from colonizing the other areas of the country.
She's not going to want you for you. Let's go back.
Take you seriously, but it's just, you know, it's gonna be harder for y'all to find a genuine.
She ain't gonna take you seriously. She wants a Colombian guy. Like when When you at the top, let's be fair. By the time she settles down with a guy in Colombia, unfortunately, she has been ran through, bro.
This coming from the same group of people that say they run off to South America because South American women are traditional. So which one is it? Are they traditional women that don't get ran through like you say, or they ran through? You talk like such a pig. You really think that all women are like that? I can guarantee you that none of my cousins are like that.
A lot of the times. So does it really matter? Who cares really if she likes you for you? Like, me personally, I don't care. A lot of brothers do care. They're like, man, does she really care about you? Does she really like you for you? Listen, man, when a chick likes you for you, that's a fleeting emotion. She can turn that on and turn it off. Personally, I like to have some type of leverage, money, power, status, where I can move and shake how I do. Whether she likes me or not is irrelevant. All I care about is that she is respectful. Do you respect me? Are you going to be talking rah-rah and talking crazy over here? That's all that matters to me. Respect. Okay? But does she like me for me? I don't care. I don't, man. I had chicks that come over here, and there's a girl that I just did a video about. She came over here and she is not happy with me. Okay? Because she got lowballed. And I knew that she wasn't going to not take the deal. But she came over here with a nasty attitude. And I taught her a little lesson about her attitude. She got folded up on the couch. Got destroyed on the couch. Okay? She was, yeah. You'll see her in the video. But yeah, she mad at me. I don't care. Last year, she liked me. Every time she came over, she was like, next time, can we watch a movie together? That was last year. This year, she got a nasty attitude. So it's just a fleeting emotion. She liked me for me. Last year, she liked me for me. This year, she just wants some money and she want to act stupid. Asking me to she too good for a motorbike. Can I order her a Uber Black to come see me? Stop, please.
The type of person that hangs around the city as part of society, you're going to think that everybody's like that. I'm sorry, but that's your personality. That's you.
Woman. First of all, because of the attitude y'all come with, but also the cultural aspect about how the cultures are so different. You know what I mean? And also, a lot of y'all be getting got by these women because y'all very naive. Y'all think that a woman, she's in love with you at first sight. You think she's going to be all over you just because she genuinely likes you so much right off the bat, right after she met you. So because of these...
So that I agree with. A lot of guys are naive. They go to Colombia, they go to all these different places, and they think because a chick matched them on Tinder and she wants to come over with her friend to give you a massage and drink that you're going to smash her free. No, she's going to rob you. So I'm fair and balanced with that. I'm fair. I get it. All right, but enough of this goon. All right, so most of this stuff was BS.
Yeah, says the lowlife who pretty much showed to everybody in the world that he's just a perverted sex traveler. That's what you are. Bro, you're a lowlife. You're a degenerate. All you talk about and all the thing that you care about is basically having intercourse with women. Pay for play, ran through, and everything else. You want to sit here and you want to lie to everybody else, acting like you're much higher than you really are. No, you're not. No, you're not. And this is the problem that Colombians have with you. In the beginning, we were talking about the civil war that's going on in Colombia because I'm not going to let that go. First, Andres on Earth was talking about something that is monumentally catastrophic, painful to the Colombian people, especially the city of Medellin, who has been suffering through a lot of bombings and everything else. And you want to say, I don't care, I just want the women. You're basically a lowlife. You travel the world for women. There's different words for that, but that's what you are. Okay? So don't sit here and pretend that you're not. And stop trying to change the subject like, oh, you're just jealous. Nobody's just jealous. Your disrespectful behavior, I have seen it before. Okay? Us Colombians have seen it many, many times before. You're not the first nor the last. But you know what the difference is? Those people get taken care of. All right? So I'm pretty much exposing you in front of everybody else. You are a lowlife. You are a degenerate. You do not care about Colombian society. You do not care about Brazilian society. Our Colombian people are getting fed up with you. And I'm telling you, Women are complaining against you in Colombia. Men are complaining against you in Colombia. Politicians are complaining against you in Colombia. Feminists and not even feminists are complaining about you in Colombia. People from the conservative side are complaining about you in Colombia. People from the liberal side are complaining about you in Colombia. And things are going to start to get tough for you. You're just sitting here throwing a little temper tantrum like a 3-year-old because Colombians are not allowing you to be abusive. And you want to switch the conversation, change the goalpost, and say that we're jealous. Okay, if you made it this far, again, I thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos about Colombia. And also, hit the like button. Please share it to as many people as you can. I'm going to try to do more videos in the future in Spanish, but I will be putting subtitles. Muchísimas gracias para toda mi gente. You have a great day. This is Ray Condor signing off.